You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks, know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
From Abe Stark Rink on Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York, the Varsity Media Sports Network presents the New York State CHSAA Hockey Championship, featuring the visiting Vikings from Nichols, the Buffalo area team. They are 16-1-1, taking on the hosts, the Flyers from Chaminade, who come into this game with a 19-3-2 record. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with you on Coney Island. Coney Island is known for the Cyclone, for Nathan's, but today it is the home of the New York State Catholic Championship game, and we should have a terrific matchup here. It is a rematch of last year's title game, played up in Buffalo, won by Nichols in overtime. That was a 5-4 victory for the Vikings. That was in their first year back playing Federation hockey up in Western New York, and a reminder that our title tilt to this afternoon is sponsored by Maspeth Federal Savings. So Nichols, a year ago, winning this championship game. Chaminade, a heartbreaker in that one. So, of course, they want to come back, and revenge isn't necessarily what's on the Flyers' minds, but they're looking to win their first ever state championship. How do these guys get here? Well, first, you see the guys warming up there for Nichols. They went 16-1-1 on the season. Game number 2 of the year, they lost to St. Francis up in Buffalo. That was a wake-up call, says their head coach, R.J. Gisevitz. It's a team of freshmen and sophomores who had to learn how to play high school hockey. Well, they did in a big way. They've gone, since that loss, 14-0-1, so undefeated since December. And the Vikings clinched their spot here with a 6-3 win over St. Francis. That was the loss that they had. Their last game was 4-1 in the Monsignor Martin final. They captured a second consecutive Niagara Cup. Big win for them. Sophomore Jake Caffrey was named game MVP. Caffrey and McLean Argret scored in a 28-second span in the second period. Griffin Johnson scored off his own rebound with 12:10 left in the third. Drury Schmidt added an empty netter, and Nichols celebrated up there in Buffalo and earned their spot down. We take a look at Nichols' players to watch. And again, this is a team of very young players, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and there you see 2 of the better ones. McLean Agret, the freshman. His head coach says that he plays with an NHL mind. His numbers on the season, 8 goals, 15 assists for 23 points. He's got a power play goal and a game winner as well. And their netminder has been outstanding throughout the season. Junior Alex Glofka, an incredible 1.02 goals against average, has 3 shutouts on the season, a 95 per save percentage. He has according to his head coach, an unbelievable commitment to hockey and his studies as well, great teammates that his players rally around. Now for Chaminade, they earned a bit of revenge during the season. They ended the regular season, a game we had for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network, with a loss to St. Anthony's. They then defeated the Friars in the Catholic Championships, the league championships, to win their spot here. 19-3-2 overall for Ed Smith's guys in all competitions, and they are hungry to get back. And again, not so much revenge for them, but an opportunity for Chaminade to win a first-ever state championship. If they are to do so, a couple of guys will lead them there. We'll take a look now at their players to watch for Chaminade, and it's been that duo really kind of all season long. James Hedquist, the senior they call Heady. He's a sniper. He's quiet, has silky smooth hands, maybe at times overhandles a little bit too much, but look at the numbers on the season. 30 goals, 21 assists. A first-team All-Star is James Hedquist. And today the best guy on the back line will be John Dunn, another senior, an alternate captain, another first-team All-Star, part of a hockey legacy here at Chaminade. His brothers Peter and Joe both also played. A tremendous job by Dunn, where he went from kind of a bubble player a year ago to being, at least for this game, the top D-man. A big miss for Chaminade will be Will Auger, the junior, out with a broken wrist. He was a second-team All-Star, so that'll be tough for Chaminade to deal with here today, losing your top D-man, but it is all about the next man up for both teams in this one. We'll take a look at the starting lineups for both. First, for the visiting Vikings of Nichols. And there you see Wynn, Agret, and Enright. Schmidt, Santa Maria, and Glafka in goal. For head coach R.J. Gisevich, a 2014 graduate of Nichols. He's in his second season. Played in the USHL with the Green Bay Gamblers. Competed at St. Lawrence University. Was an assistant coach and director of scouting for the Fargo Force in the UHSL. He joined Fredonia State in D3 as an assistant. Now he's back at his alma mater, which he says is pretty special to be a part of something bigger than IM. Now let's take a look at the starters for Chaminade. As both teams finishing their warm-ups, it is Ryan Landolfi. He'll go on and play lacrosse at Navy. So he's playing his last competitive hockey game here this afternoon. Luke Federico as well as Cooper Zawatoski. Your defenders, we mentioned before, Dunn and Lucas Lee. A terrific skater is Lucas Lee. And in goal for the Flyers this afternoon, Michael Manduka, the junior, 11-3-1 on the season. Only 37 goals against. The head coach of Chaminade in his 8th season is Ed Smith, another guy who played for his alma mater, in 1989 graduate of Chaminade High School, a 2-time captain for the Flyers as well. His assistant coaches are Keith Macias, Mike Barnwell, and Vinny Capasso. Capasso is in his 28th season at the helm. Both teams lining up on their respective goal lines as they get set to be introduced to the crowd. As we have that, we'll show you the keys to the game for both of these teams. For the Flyers, you got to stay out of the penalty box because Nichols will make you pay. They've got a terrific power play. They have to have strong forechecking and protect the front of the net. That's not just a job for the D-men. It is also the responsibility of the centers to come back and back check and protect the front of Manduka's net. For Nichols, they want to play a north game. You don't want to get east and west. You want to go north-south. They want to possess the puck and play simple and hard hockey. And that's kind of been the story all year for Nichols. Really starting from day one, Gisevich says that the biggest concern was the youth and immaturity of a team, again, that are sophomores and freshmen, mostly freshmen and sophomores. Last year, they were technically young for the high school hockey league, and this year they're even younger. So there was definitely a period of adjustment for a lot of guys versus juniors and seniors. But once they figured out what worked, their ID, which for Nichols is being a hard, fast, disciplined, and consistent hockey team, once they hit all 4 of those goals, they really turned it up, Nichols had, and they've been very, very good since. Their lineup being introduced here to the crowd at Abe Stark Rink on Coney Island. A strength for Nichols this year also, Gisevich said, starts with their goalie. Alex Glofka plays the puck well, keeps the Vikings in games, weathers the storm when the rest of the team is a little bit frantic. The D-core, when they're on, he says, they move the puck extremely well. They defend hard and bring some offense as well. The forward group has a lot of different elements, he said, to it. There's very skilled guys. There's role players on the third line. But everybody, he says, brings something to the table. Chaminade head coach Ed Smith of his team says, look, he kind of thought earlier on in the year that they underachieved a little bit, where they were working on their compliance. They were pretty good with penalties, but the basics of hockey, which for them is getting the puck deep, chip, and chase. You know, when you play a lopsided game, sometimes you get into bad habits, and Chaminade's had a few of those this year, so was pretty confident that they'd get it right going into the playoffs, and they have done just that. It's a big improvement from last year, he said, where they were extremely non-compliant, but he believes that they are the team, or he believed they were the team in the Catholic League here downstate. Proved it well. They won another championship, but now they chase that elusive state title. They are 0-4 here in this game, and we mentioned as well a loss last year to Nichols, so that was difficult for Chaminade. That was a quiet bus ride coming back from Buffalo for them, and really they wanted to get back to this game. It just so happens that it is against Nichols. Will be introduced. Chaminade has 6 players who played in last year's title game, 3 forwards, 2 D-men, and a goalie. Nichols has 6 players who played in last year's game, so he kind of thinks it's a brand new squad for both teams. The players who were part of that team last year, Ed Smith says, you know, of course they want to win a championship, but it's not for revenge. We've never won a title. He said this is the 5th trip. We could taste it last year. He called that overtime winner by London Goodwin, which completed the hat trick, a fluky goal, and it was a little bit of a controversial goal as well. They, after it was called a goal on the ice, they went to video review, which we don't usually see in high school. The video review upheld the decision that it went over the goal line. Ed Smith, to this day, will tell you it did not. He didn't believe it did, but that's how Nichols beat Chaminade a year ago. We'll take a look at the previous winners here in this competition, and so many of them have been from up in Buffalo. You see last year Nichols beating Chaminade 5-4. St. Mary's beating Chaminade in the previous edition, of course, in 2021. There was no state title game because of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Before that, St. Joe's had a terrific run. In fact, if you look there, St. Joe's won 5 state titles there. St. Anthony's, one of the few. The Friars have 2. One of those games is actually just before these numbers here. In 2012, the Friars won at a classic. Chris Wallace scored the winning goal. That was at Nassau Coliseum. But there you see St. Joe's beating the Friars in consecutive games. But there you see the losses for Chaminade. So 5th trip, will it be 4 at all? We will find out, as now their starters are going to be introduced here to the crowd at Abe Stark Rink, which is still filing in. So here come the starters for the Flyers. Lucas Lee makes his way to the ice. Terrific skater is Lee, a senior. Really good both ways. There's John Dunn, one of our players to watch. You see the A on his sweater. There's Federico, another alternate captain of this team, an engine, much smaller, but a little guy who's just an energizer bunny. And there you see Landolfi. He is the captain. Missed some weeks this year due to an ankle sprain. The Naval Academy lacrosse commit. And there is Cooper Zawatoski, another senior. Didn't make the team last year, was probably the last cut. Finds his way back in and in the starting lineup. And there is Manduka. He was not in the cage a year ago. It was Patrick Conway who was the goalie. A moment of silence here at Abe Stark Rink. So the moment of silence there for Colin Rossiter, former Monsignor Farrell hockey player, the class of 2018. 22-year-old NYPD officer died on Thursday. He was assigned to the 6-0 precinct here in Coney Island. We'll take a quick break for the anthem. We'll return for the opening faceoff of the New York State CHSAA final right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring leaks, know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We welcome you back to Abe Stark Rink on Coney Island here in Brooklyn, New York. Anthem has been played. The starters and the entire teams for both of these squads have been introduced. So all that's missing here is puck drop in this New York State CHSAA championship game. Again, rematch of last year's final, won by Nichols. Nichols in their second year back in the Western Federation Conference, and back-to-back wins. What we couldn't show you on camera, we didn't have the angle, but it was a tremendous outpouring of support. 20 members of the NYPD, believe many of them from right here in the 6-0 precinct, if not all of them, former officers with Colin Rossiter. Again, a 4-year hockey player at Monsignor Farrell, just 22 years old, died on Thursday. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Rossiter family, and we wish them the opportunity there to work through their grief on their terrible loss. Puck drop, here we go. Nichols going from left to right on your screen. They have the puck first. Slap shot from the point. Our first save is made, as that was Miles Santamaria putting the shot on target. And an easy save for Manduka. So face off to Manduka's right. One by Nichols. Slap shot kind of fluttered. It's worked behind the net. Centering shot, and there's the first goal. McLean Agrette, the freshman, puts Nichols in front just 19 seconds into the first. What a start for the visitors as Agrette gets the goal. You see it again. Worked from behind the net. Agrette with a little stick tap on the ice, calls for the puck, gets it, and gets the goal. 19 seconds of the first period. An ideal start for the visitors. Nichols, or Agrette, scores his 9th goal of the season. Enright the assist. And Nichols takes the early 1-0 lead. And now they look for a little bit more. There's Jake Caffrey, was the MVP of the Monsignor Martin final, as a second Niagara Cup went to Nichols. Both teams work behind the net. It's one there. Wraparound attempt. It's loose in front. That first shot was their captain, TJ Bamrick. And the Flyers look to clear. A big hit applied by Max Ackley, another freshman on this Nichols team. Puck worked behind the Flyers net. Battle there. Nichols changes, so it should, in theory, allow the Flyers to get out easily. And here's an opportunity as James Hedquist, wrist shot wide of the mark, wraps around the boards. And here come the Vikings of Nichols. What a pass! The pass applied by Joe Conti went across the goal mouth. Shot went wide. See Nichols early on, opening couple minutes, applying a lot of pressure on Chaminade. That puck backhanded into the Flyers zone as, again, Nichols looks to change up a little bit of personnel. Here comes Lee, number 7, goes cross ice. That pass misses the mark. Icing is waved off. They'll battle behind, and here comes Drury Schmidt, number 8, for the clearance. And there is Lee. Lee harassed, has to go back to his fellow D-men, and Bonino. Worked up those boards. Zawatowski backhands it across the way. The puck just sent low by Landolfi, but that'll be icing against the Flyers, so face-off will be deep. Terrific start for Nichols. That early goal by Agrette from Niagara Falls, Canada. He didn't play for 2 years. He went from Pee Wee Major to 16U and high school hockey because of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Battle off the face-off, won by the Flyers. Work behind their own net. And now Chaminade looks to clear. That's Kieran Thompson. It's a 2-on-1. Thompson, wrist shot, knocked away well by Glofka. Loose puck goes to Manduka. He'll just go the safe route and hold up the puck. Opening 3 minutes here of the New York State Catholic Hockey Championship. Dylan Butler with you here at Abe Stark Rink. It's an early 1-0 lead for Nichols. Agrette the goal, 19 seconds in. Flyers looking for a response. Here comes Hedquist. The pass, the shot! Saved by Glofka. Lucas Lee had the attempt. In the early goings, that was the Flyers' best opportunity. Good job by Lucas Lee to join the attack. Battle behind the net. It's worked up these near boards, kept in. Wrist shot by Casey Kohler, the sophomore, who's an alternate captain. Kohler pushes it back in. It's worked up the boards again. Kohler unable to keep it in, so he'll just turn, look to recycle. as Nichols. Oh, and nearly a turnover there as mishandling it for a moment was Hedquist. The shot by Kohler, though, wide, and now the Flyers will look to get out. They want to dump and chase and forecheck. That's a big part of Chaminade's game. Glofka's got to pull down that puck that wobbled end over end. So a simple save for Glofka, and the faceoff will be to his right. It's Landolfi for Chaminade. Faceoff won there by Joe Conti of Nichols, and now the Vikings looking for a little bit of more. Good job defensively by Bonino. Erasing his man behind the net. Wrist shot deflected in front. Chaminade having problems clearing their own zone. There's Conti, the sophomore. Landolfi backhands it. And now the Flyers look to clear. We're going to have a delayed penalty against Nichols as Manduka leaves his cage for the extra skater. And there is the first penalty. There'll be a roughing penalty against Nichols. So Chaminade will go on the power play. Going into the box, Wolfgar Weber. So first power play for either team. Good opportunity for Chaminade here to tie this game at 1. Slap shot from the point, deflected behind the net. Nichols will be aggressive on their PK, and they're a team. Ed Smith says, look, we don't have to play the perfect game, right? This isn't Miracle on Ice, but you've got to play a very sound hockey game, and you can't afford to make any mistakes because Nichols, with their mentality and their skaters, they will hurt you. And there you see Chaminade unable to get the puck deep. 1:15 left on their power play as Weber left the ice for that roughing penalty. Unable to gain the blue line, and Chaminade pays for that as a simple clearance for Nichols. Manduka plays it behind his own net. And now the Flyers will look to move. Zawatoski gets it to the point. Centering pass, rebound, off the side of the net. That was Hedquist with the opportunity. The puck cleared. As we have 40 seconds now left in the Chaminade power play. Ooh, a mistake there, a broken stick. And look at this, a 2-on-1 for Nichols, shorthanded. Backhand by Conti was saved by Manduka. 22 seconds left. An unfortunate literal break for Chaminade, although it didn't prove costly. Now the Flyers here, final 9 seconds of the power play. Glofka will just eat that one up. So 7 seconds left on the power play for Chaminade. They'll get at least a face-off. To Glofka's left. So if you get a win on this face-off, you can potentially set something up here. Shots early on, 4-3 in favor of Nichols. Off the face-off, it's won by the Vikings. Worked back around and out, so that'll do it. Nichols does well, killing their first, or the first penalty of this game. Here's Caffrey, 11. Works it up by his own bench. And Egret. Back to Caffrey. Pumps the brakes behind the net. Looks for teammates. Works it back around. Puck deflected and taken away by Matt Dominica. And then pass ahead to Thompson. Glofka tried to clear it, and actually that clearance went off the side of his own net. Centering opportunity. Oh, what a save by Glofka. Robbing Brandon Ing. So Glofka's miscue on his clearance led to a grade A chance for Chaminade, and it was on the stick of Ing, and a terrific save by Glofka to keep Chaminade off the board. Nichols winning just about every faceoff. That puck deflected. That's why there wasn't an icing on the call, on the play, I should say. Puck goes across. It'll be played by Glofka, and that will be icing, actually, against Chaminade. 7:16 left in this first period. The goal by McLean Agritt has given Nichols the early 1-0 lead. Puck kept in by Nichols, and now they look to set up something. Wrist shot, deflected well from behind. Good job by Hedquist. And the puck finally cleared. Neutral zone, it gets cycled back in by the Vikings. Chaminade has not had a clean clearance as of yet. Here's an opportunity for the Flyers. Wrist shot, goal! How about that for a response? Mike Conlon ties it up for the Flyers. You see it again, Conlon kind of daring him to shoot. Conlon's like, fine, I'll take it. As A.J. Lavulo, the Nichols D-man, didn't come and play him, so again, why not? So with 6:40 left in the first, Chaminade, an important response, and it comes from the sophomore Conlon. And what a story he is here as well. Was part of the defensive unit, pushed himself up in attack, and Conlon late in the season joined the forwards. And the move by the Chaminade coaching staff has certainly paid dividends late in the season, and certainly here in the New York State Catholic Championship game. Your credit Hedquist for an assist, as well as John Dunn, and we are tied at 1. And the Flyers looking to take the lead now. They win the puck behind the net. That's Steven Gerges. Gerges centering pass goes through the front of the net. And now Nichols will look to clear. Puck sent in by their captain, TJ Bamrick, along those far boards now, and the Flyers look to have a little momentum now. Wrist shot, sticked away well by Glofka. Puck exits the Nichols zone. In the neutral zone, there is Weber. Wrist shot. Simple save there for Manduka. It was Joe Conti, the alternate captain, the sophomore, putting it on. He is, according to RJ Gisevich, by far the hardest working player on the Nichols team. That nonstop motor in every situation guy, PK, power play, 5-on-5, what have you, he will excel. And again, that's what he was saying. You've got skilled guys, you've got grinders. It's a good recipe for success for Nichols. Centering pass and a goal! John Duffett gives Nichols the 2-1 lead. Duffett was open in front. Here you see it again. Chaminade unable to clear their zone. Backhand pass, and there is Duffett right between the circles. The freshman scores his second goal of the year, and Nichols takes a 2-1 lead with 4:55 left in the first period. Duffert, another success story for the Vikings. And now Nichols will go in the box. It'll be Chaminade's second power play opportunity. This will be a cross-checking penalty. as Lucas Smith will go in. So Conti gets the assist, and into the box goes Smith, Lucas Smith, for the 2-minute cross-checking penalty. Chaminade 0 for 1 in the power play. Oh, look at that opportunity. It's still loose, and now Glafka picks it up. Good job getting some bodies in front of Glafka. Wasn't able to see that shot from the point, but he kept it in his pads, which results in a face-off to his right. Face-off won by Chaminade. Wrist shot. Deflects. Good opportunity there for Federico. And the clearance by Miles Santamaria. One of the old men on this team, a junior, a team full of freshmen and sophomores. Here come the Flyers the other way. Landolfi missed a chunk of time this year with a high ankle sprain. But you know, in the money games late in the season, Landolfi will not miss an opportunity. That shot fluttered towards the net by Dunn and cleared by Nichols. A minute left in this second Flyers power play. They're 0 for 1 so far with the man advantage. Pressure applied by Conti. Puck worked in by Hedquist. He looks to play it behind the net. He's got support from Gerges. Battle on the corner boards. And it's backhanded out and cleared by the Vikings. All the way back to Manduka's net with 33 seconds left on the man advantage. Struggling to handle the puck. Flyers turn the puck over inside their own blue line. Here's Hudson Wynn. He loses it. And now Chaminade look to clear. 15 seconds on the man advantage. Worked back to the point. Again, another puck deflects, flutters behind the back of the net. Good vantage point there from our camera. It's kept in. Wrist shot from the circle. Saved by Glafka. Shot was by Conlin, who tied this game at 1 with 6:40 left in the period. And now he got a slashing penalty against Chaminade. So the Flyers, after an inability to cash in on their second power play, they will be shorthanded for the first time. 2-minute slashing penalty called against Kieran Thompson with 2:47 left in this first period. So the first power play opportunity for a very dangerous Nichols power play. Cross-ice pass intercepted well by Landolfi. Look at this, an interception. And then the net, as Glafka went to go post to post, knocked the net off the bearing, so that's why the stoppage there by the officials. So they'll put the net back on the moorings, and it'll be a face-off to Glafka's right. 1:38 left on the power play. You see it there in the top left of your screen. An aggressive forecheck by Landolfi. Nichols now will set things up. Casey Kohler tries to get it through traffic, lost control, and the puck cleared by the Flyers. Glafka aggressive to retrieve that puck. It's misplayed, though, and sent right back to sender. Both teams a little sloppy in the neutral zone. This results in a shot opportunity, and it's sticked by Glafka, and the puck flutters out of play. That was Brandon Ing, who Ed Smith, the Chaminade coach, says is one of the best skaters that he's ever coached. Quick, a little guy buzzing around, tons of energy. said he is great on the PK. You see why. 57 seconds left on Nichols' first power play opportunity. Chaminade is 0 for 2 with the man advantage. 2-1 the score. Nichols with the lead here as we approach 90 seconds left in the first period. Puck intercepted. It was Ng, the interception. The shot by Gergis, it was near the butt end of Glofka's stick, and now Nichols really hasn't had much time inside the Chaminade blue line in this power play, which now has 28 seconds remaining in it. There's Santa Maria. Cross ice pass. That's Caffrey. Puck sent in behind the net. Chipped D-man to D-man, and there's a good clearance by the Flyers. As we're inside the final minute of this first period, Nichols with a 2-1 lead over Chaminade. It's the New York State Catholic Championship game, and it's presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. Power play up, so we're even. Chaminade does their job killing that one. Wrist shot from the point, deflects. Nichols looking for a third here before the first intermission. Here comes George Sumperiadis, works it behind. Glofka goes up the far boards, tries to clear, and it goes to Caffrey. Caffrey centering pass. Wrist shot, somehow finding a way through is Griffin Johnson. From the point, put back in, Manduka makes the save on the shot by Lucas Smith. Smith, another freshman, probably 5'11", 160, a big boy for his age. So he's taking some time to kind of grow into his body. 13 seconds left. Face off to Manduka's right. It's won by Wynn. That's Nathan Enright, number 19. Puck cleared, deflected. 4 seconds left, 3. Trying to reach out for that puck was Cooper Zawatowski as the buzzer sounds to end an entertaining first 15 minutes. So both teams will go to their benches. We'll have an ice cut between periods, and we'll take a break with them as well. It is 2-1, Nichols leading Chaminade in this New York State CHSAA Hockey Championship presented by Maspeth Federal Savings right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks, know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your events or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We welcome you back to Abe Stark Rink on Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York. First intermission, and it is Nichols with a 2-1 lead over Chaminade. Dylan Butler here, back with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We take a look at the first period stats, and you see the edge for Chaminade. After kind of an early blitz by the Vikings, 10-6, the edge in shots. Manduka making the saves as well. Neither team able to capitalize on their power plays. Chaminade 0 for 2 on the power play. And there you see it, 0 for 1 for Nichols. So 2-1 the lead for Nichols. And we'll show you the replays of the goals. And it took the Vikings no time at all. This is just 19 seconds into the first period. You see the puck worked behind by Nathan Enright. And then the goal scorer, McLean Agret. The freshman puts Nichols in front. That was Agret's 9th goal of the season. So it was 1-0 for Nichols, 19 seconds in. But Chaminade, well, they would get the response. We'll show it here. 2-on-1, or it's actually 2-on-2, but you see nobody playing Mike Conlon. So Conlon's like, I'm taking it straight to the goal. The sophomore's 4th goal of the year. That came with 6:40 left in the first period. The assists on that goal went to James Hedquist, the senior, his 22nd helper on the year. And another assist as well to John Dunn, his 9th assist. So 1-1 the score, but the response for Nichols came pretty quickly. It was not tied for very long. And you see backhanded pass, terrific first-time finish by John Duffett, the freshman, his 2nd goal of the year. The assist by Joe Conti, the sophomore, picked up his 10th assist of the year. And Nichols with a 2-1 lead after one period. Again, this is a rematch of last year's championship game. That game played up in Western New York, up in Buffalo, and London Goodwin scored a hat trick, including the overtime winner. That was a power play tally as well. A fluke goal is what the Chaminade head coach Ed Smith said. Regardless, the goal counted. You see Christian Swartz as well, 35 saves to lead Nichols in their first year first year in the Western Federation League to win their Niagara Cup championship. And they won their 2nd, obviously, a few days ago. A reminder as well, today's New York State CHSAA Hockey Championship is presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. A busy day for us here in the Varsity Media Sports Network. We've got a full day of basketball up at Rose Hill Gymnasium in the Bronx at Fordham University. The CHSAA Class AA quarterfinals are underway. Started at 1 o'clock. There's games at 1, 3, 5, and 7. John Perez on the call for the first two. I will attempt to make my way from Coney Island up to the Bronx for the final two tilts. That is a 5 o'clock and a 7 o'clock game as well. So both teams now onto the ice for a brief warm-up before the start of the second period. It was interesting. I had a conversation with R.J. Gisevich, the Nichols head coach, and kind of asked them, what was your travel plans to get here, right? Because obviously it's about 8 hours on a bus. So he said what they did yesterday on Saturday is they bused to Wilkes-Barre in PA, which is about halfway through, about 4 hours from Buffalo. They got a skate in there, got back on the bus. They had dinner outside the city, and they got in to their hotel about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. He thought it was a good halfway point to get a skate, stop for lunch, get off the bus, get a little sweat in, get loose, so you're not just sitting for 8 hours on a bus. Kind of broke up the trip pretty well as well, where you're driving another 1 or 2 hours, you get dinner, and then you just have 1 hour left. He said he liked breaking up the trip better than just 8 straight hours on the bus. There you see Chaminade goalie Mike Manduka getting warmed up as we will be set for the opening face-off here of the second of 3 15-minute periods. 2-1 the lead for Nichols. Ed Smith, the Chaminade coach, said make no mistake, there was no question Nichols, even though they were the visiting team here this afternoon, clearly the favorite. I don't think that was coach speak as well. I think when you consider the level of hockey upstate, understandable statement. Look at that. Wrist shot. Glafka off or out of his crease. The shot was applied by Dunn. Second period just underway here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So glad you're able to join us here in this New York State CHSAA Hockey Championship game. Puck backhanded out, although recovered by Nichols. And there is Ackley, the freshman D-man. Great skater, great puck mover as well, really good instincts. Puck nearly hit an official there as trying to corral it was Kieran Thompson. Now skating his way in. Bamwick, the captain of this squad, a kind of a Pied Piper of sorts in the school during the day. He's got a couple of freshmen who are his teammates who just kind of follow him around, follow his leadership. That backhand opportunity wide of the net. Terrific chance for the Flyers to tie this game again. That was Thompson who missed the mark. And we will have another power play opportunity. This will be a trip. And it looks to be against Jake Caffrey. So Chaminade's third power play opportunity. They are 0 for 2 with the man advantage. So that tripping penalty comes with 12:31 left in this first. Shot through traffic by Landolfi. Saved by Glafka. Unable to be kept in. So Chaminade will look to get set again. Glafka, nice and easy, makes the save. He's certainly got confidence in his centerman to make the necessary face-off wins. And this face-off will be to his left with 1:38 left on the man advantage. Face-off won by the Flyers. Landolfi tried to get the wrist shot going, wasn't able to corral the puck, and it's cleared by Nichols. Backhanded behind his own net by Manduka. There's Dunn leaving it. You see the forecheck by Griffin Johnson creating problems, and it's intercepted by Bamrick. Bamrick turns, and the smart hockey IQ play, just backhand it back out and just look to clear off more of this PK time, which is now a minute left in this 5-on-4 for Chaminade. Ing chases the puck. He wins it there, tries to go to Hedquist. There is Hedquist on the puck, works it back to his point, but again, an aggressive forecheck. So it's difficult for Conlon to get anything there. Here is Hedquist. Wrist shot, low wrist shot off the pad of Glofka to the near boards. There's Gergis back to the point. Maybe one last chance here for the Flyers, or maybe not. 17 seconds left, and now it's a 2-on-2. Wrist shot saved by Manduka, and he'll hold on. Shot was taken by Bamrick the junior. The captain got 7 goals and 3 assists. But how about this number? Of his 7 goals for TJ Bamrick, 4 are game winners. He's a leader. And Gisevich said, quite honestly, a one-of-a-kind. I've never met a kid like him in his life, he said. He called him an old soul, a loyal person, and really on a team that is so young, so many freshmen and sophomores, just that ideal guy to have the C on his sweater. So Nichols, a third PK, a third successful PK as Lee shoots the puck in. They dump and they chase. Landolfi comes after the puck, wins it there along the corner, but only goes as far as AJ Lavulo, the sophomore. And now here come the Vikings the other way. High wrist shot, deflected wide, taken by Enright. He's got an assist on the day. An errant pass, and it's Zawatoski goes the other way. Shots of 13-7 in favor of Chaminade, and again, you've got 6 minutes of power play time, so you figure a lot of that advantage has to do with that. There's Bonino. Battled a lower body injury earlier this year. He's healthy now. Glofka plays the puck behind his own net up this near boards. And that'll be an icing against Nichols, as Duffett was unable to find a teammate to get that puck to. So 10:21 left here, second period, and Nichols with a 2-1 lead. All 3 goals were scored in that first period. Face-off to Glofka's left. Won by Nichols. They'll work it up the near boards. And in fact, it deflected into the Chaminade bench, which will result in another face-off. I want to thank folks here at Abe Stark Rink for their hospitality. Gina Miller leading that charge, a fantastic championship venue here, which is right next, if you've never been here before, right next to Maimonides Park, home of the Brooklyn Cyclones. A short walk up to the original Nathans as well. Oh, and also the Cyclone. A lot of things down here, right off the boardwalk. Remember, many trips here covering the Catholic Hockey League. And, you know, listen, when it's like 12 degrees out on a late Friday night in February, the boardwalk here, and it's unforgiving as you make a sprint from your car inside the rink. But nice and cozy inside the rink, as here comes Chaminade with an opportunity. Here is Thompson tracking it down, but an icing was called as he and Ackley raced after that puck. 9:29 left in this middle frame. Face-off won by Chaminade. Bon Jovi still blaring over the PA, and that's now cut short. Hey, that goes back to my high school days, so I'm a fan. A little Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi. Here's Caffrey getting it to Johnson. Hard check along those far boards. The puck won by Chaminade up this near side. However, they're unable to clear. Nichols looking to capitalize. That shot. Manduka got a piece, and a hard check applied as well by Johnson. That shot deflected. Blocking it was Michael Cutterback. Battle behind the net. 2-on-2 battle. It's won by Nichols. And finally, Chaminade able to clear. Look at the extra effort as well. Wrist shot and a simple save by Glafka. The entrance into the zone by Hedquist, and then the shot taken by Landolfi. We've seen both goalies, too, not really try to keep the play going, right? And you got to figure that's a product of this being such a big stage, right? So you want to do the simple play, right? Play simple, which means make the save, cover up, and get the face off. Don't try to force anything for sure. Here comes Nichols. Backhanded at the blue line. Open shot, opportunity. That's fired over the net by Conti. We welcome all the viewers, likely from up in the Buffalo area as well, rooting on Nichols here this afternoon. Wrist shot from the point, went off a skate in front, deflected to the boards. The attempted pass goes back. It took a deflection, so icing is off. Winning this skate there was Weber. He's checked by Bonino. Puck chipped by Conti to himself. Collision. Falling there was Federico. Feeling it a little bit after that collision was Federico. Hard hit along the far boards. There is Federico. Just a simple backhand out, and this should be an icing, and it is against Chaminade. When we spoke with Nichols head coach R.J. Gisevich, he said of Chaminade, they are fast and skilled. They play with good structure and take advantage of big mistakes. He said it's also ironic for his team because not only is it the same opponent in the state championship game, but in the sectionals as well, Nichols had to beat the same teams they did last year. So the road, exactly the same. The only difference is that wrist shot took a deflection in front and caromed wide of the net. The only difference, of course, is Nichols, the road team, instead of a game there at Harbor Center, they are away here in Brooklyn. 6:45 left, second period. 2-1 the lead for Nichols. All the goals to this point scored in the first period. And another icing against the Flyers. Ed Smith says of Nichols, they are fast, relentless, and most of all, they're opportunistic. They'll make you pay if you turn the puck over. Their puck pursuit, relentless. Slap shot from the point, deflected. Other point, wrist shot, saved by Manduka. And cleared. And here comes Chaminade. It is Heddy. Hedquist, backhand, Hedquist! We are tied! What an individual effort by James Hedquist. Gets by one defender, the backhand in front. A terrific goal for Hedquist, his 31st of the year. And we are tied at 2 with 6:18 left in the second period. So that unassisted goal by Hedquist The second time Chaminade has rallied to tie. The first time, Nichols had an almost immediate response. Let's see if the Vikings can do the same here in the middle frame. Puck worked back to the point. Ackley, the freshman, sends it wide. His opposing 5 is Bonino. Chaminade going with 5D today, missing Will Auger, who is out with a broken wrist, was their shutdown D-man for the Flyers. And Ed Smith says probably the best defenseman in the league as well. So that's a tough loss for the Flyers. And we mentioned before, Conlon moved up from D to forward. And that's the reason why you go with 5. Although you do have some great skaters. Lee may be the best of them all. So you're pretty comfortable, I think, if you're Smith, as that shot from the point easily saved by Manduka. His 6th in this game. So clearly not the busier of the 2 goalies. Manduka, the shots right now 15-8 in favor of the Flyers. Off the faceoff, Chaminade looks to clear. They do. It's played, so no icing. Glofka backhands it around. Santa Maria sends it back this way, and now Nichols will try to break out. And here they come. The Vikings have an opportunity. Little tap of the stick for number 12, Santa Maria. A delayed penalty is called, so the Flyers will go in the box. Nichols, their second power play opportunity. It'll be a 2-minute hooking penalty against D. Dominica. So this with 5:10 left in this second frame. Nichols' second power play. They are 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Puck behind the net, cleared well by Bonino. And Glofka plays it up, but kind of recklessly shot towards the net. And the save had to be made. That was Landolfi. And we've seen some difficulties from Glofka in this game. In the first period, an attempted clearance went off his own net, which resulted in a scoring chance for Chaminade, and this one as well resulted in the Flyers forcing a face-off to his right. It's won, though, by Nichols, and they'll look to break out. Entering the zone, there was Joe Conti. It's backhanded back out. It's won at the point, though, by Santa Maria. Hands off. That's a wrister and a goal! What a snipe by Jake Caffrey. The power play goal gives Nichols a 3-2 lead. We'll show it to you again. Here's the replay. Watch 11. And look at this. Great vantage point from behind. Goes top shelf on the finish. The power play goal. And as we said, almost identical from that first period in terms of time from the game being tied to Nichols regaining the lead. For Caffrey, who is the MVP of the Nichols Cup, or the Niagara Cup championship, it is his 9th goal of the year. So Conti picks up an assist. That's a shot through by Patron. Some traffic in front. See the assists on the goal to 16 and 15. Bamrick and Conti. And this an icing against Nichols. We want to remind you again, this championship game is sponsored by Maspeth Federal Savings. We want to thank them for their sponsorship of this game, as well as additional hockey games and basketball games throughout this winter season as well. 3:45 left, second period. Nichols from Buffalo, the 3-2 lead over Chaminade. Battle along the corner boards. Won by Chaminade. There's Ing. Ing looks for option, just sends it right back. They cycle well through the Flyers. That puck though went off a Nichols skate and out of the zone. And Nichols sends it in deep, and they'll look to forecheck and chase. Big hit level there by Enright. A couple Flyers collide behind the net. Cycling there is Hudson Wynn, the sophomore. Great skater, very skilled. And the puck was hit with a high stick, which is the reason for the stoppage. Going back to Wynn, the sophomore, 2 goals, 7 assists on the year. We mentioned great skater, very skilled. At certain times, Gisevich says he gave Wynn the opportunity to shut down some of the top players in the country. He takes on the other team's top center, and more often than not, considering the 16 1-1 season as that puck goes into the Chaminade bench, Wynn has won those battles. So neutral zone face-off after that errant puck into the Chaminade bench. Flyers finished second in the CHSAA down here, downstate to St. Anthony's, with a loss on the last day of the regular season for both teams. So St. Anthony's, because of the tiebreaker, ended up finishing first, but Chaminade beating them in the finals. And here's a chance for the Flyers. Here comes Hedquist. He scored the tying goal. Hedquist, rebound. Oh! I think that was saved. What an opportunity. And Glofka comes up huge. The opportunity, the first was by Hedquist. Let's see it again. See Hedquist getting inside the blue line. He's stopped. Look at this loose puck. Look at this rebound, and oh my goodness. Highway robbery by Glofka. What a save to absolutely rob Conlon. Hedquist, wrist shot right into the breadbasket of Glofka, who makes another save. 19 saves on the day for Glofka. None bigger than his 18th. What an incredible save there on Conlon. Flyers, I was going to say keep the puck in. They do not, though. Aggressive forechecking, and this puck will go behind the Nichols bench, which will result in a neutral zone faceoff. 2:09 left, second period. It is Nichols with the 3-2 lead, defending New York State CHSAA champions, beating these same Flyers, although the personnel was a little bit different for both teams. Only about 6 players for both teams. Ooh, a strong carom off the boards. Actually ends up aiding the Flyers as they send the puck deep through Thompson. Forecheck applied. Gerges up this near side, and here come the Vikings. 3-on-2 into the blue line. Backhand in front. Manduka is strong. Puck goes to the far side and cleared by the Flyers. Chasing it down is Ing. Good work from D-man to D-man as the Vikings will now work their way out. It is McLean Agret. He opened the scoring here today, 19 seconds into the first period. Agret wins the puck. That shot deflected. It's one behind, left back by Lavulo. But here comes Chaminade the other way. It is Thompson. Thompson halted. That pass attempt took a deflection and sent back in. Inside the final minute now of the second period. No icing on that play as Joe Conti, 15, won it. Centering pass deflected away. Zawatoski has it for the Flyers with 46 seconds. Gets inside the blue line. Played behind by Glofka. He has been aggressive handling the puck behind his own net with some mixed results as well today. 32 seconds left in the second frame. And again, simple for Glofka. Just makes the backhand, or makes the glove hand save as we are inside the final 29 seconds of this second period. We had 3 goals in the first, 2 here in the second. The result is a 3-2 lead for Nichols. Chaminade wins the faceoff, goes back to the point. Oh, unable to handle it, and here's a chance for Nichols. Wrist shot, goes wide of the net. That was Bamrick, their captain. What a golden opportunity for the first 2-goal lead of the game. 10 seconds left, puck sent back in by Bonino. 7-6. Slap shot from just outside the point goes wide by Santa Maria, and the second frame concludes. So Nichols had a 2-1 lead after 1, and they still have a 1-goal lead after 2. It is a 3-2 lead for Nichols. You're watching this New York State CHSAA championship game presented by Maspeth Federal Savings right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring leaks, know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit? Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy, put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to play-by-the-rules sports advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Maspeth Federal Savings is here through it all. The ins and outs, the ups and downs. Through the winters, the summers, and even the spring of leaks. Know that Maspeth has your back. From luxury sheets to balance sheets to dancing under the stars, your mission is our mission. And when our community calls, we proudly step forward. So whether you need it now or planning for tomorrow, through all the twists and all the turns, you can always find us right here in your neighborhood.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We welcome you back to Abe Stark Rink here on Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York. It is the New York State Catholic Hockey Championship, and it is Nichols with a 3-2 lead after two. You see the stats after two periods. Chaminade the distinct advantage in shots, 23-10, which means that Alex Glofka has been very good in net for Nichols. 21 saves on the day, 7 saves for his goaltending counterpart, Michael Manduka. 6 penalty minutes for Nichols, 4 for Chaminade. But you see the difference there. 1 for 2 is Nichols. They scored on their last power play, which has given them a 3-2 lead. 0 for 3 on the man advantage for Chaminade. So it was 2-1, Nichols after 2. And we'll show you some of the highlights from the second frame here at Abe Stark Rink. And what an incredible goal. Tied things up for Chaminade. It was their leader, James Hedquist. And we'll show you that highlight now. Hedquist, 1-on-2, right? So advantage Nichols, not so, says Hetty. Backhands, gets it past Glofka. That tied the score on that unassisted goal with 6:18 left in the second period. For Hedquist, it was goal number 31 on the season, but the advantage didn't last long as Nichols goes on the power play after Thompson went in for a slash, and they go top shelf. What a terrific finish there by Jake Caffrey, the freshman, his 9th goal of the year. That goal was assisted by TJ Bamrick, number 16, as well as Joe Conti, number 15. It was Conti's second assist of the game, and that has given Nichols a 3-2 lead. A reminder as well, this New York State Catholic Hockey Championship is brought to you by Maspeth Federal Savings, and we thank the fine folks at Maspeth for their continued sponsorship of Catholic high school athletics, both on the ice and on the hardwood as well. And currently, the Varsity Media Sports Network on our YouTube channel, which we want you to subscribe to as well. If you exit your full screen, you could hit that subscribe button on your screen. Also, you should follow us on our social media handles as well. But up at Rose Hill Gym on the campus of Fordham University is currently the first of 4 CHSAA basketball quarterfinal games. And at last look here between periods, it was Christ the King with a fairly comfortable lead, looking to book their spot, become the first team to book their spot into the semifinals. So big win, or at least they were winning, I should say, for Christ the King against their rivals in Bishop Loughlin. The second game is Malloy and Stepanak. That's a 3 o'clock tip. And then I will somehow make my way up to Rose Hill in time for the 5 o'clock and the 7 o'clock games. At 5 o'clock, it is St. Francis Prep against Iona Prep. And then the finale tonight in the Bronx will pit Cardinal Hayes against St. Peter's. Nichols looking to win their second consecutive championship. And here you see the recent winners in the New York State CHSAA. It's not been a long time since the two regions have played against each other, but it's certainly made for entertaining high-level hockey. You see last year Nichols winning in overtime, beating Chaminade. Back to 2020, St. Mary's defeating the Flyers 4-1. St. Joe's beating Xavier the year before. So certainly when you go region to region, the edge is very much tilted for the Buffalo region, as they, not that you don't take it seriously down there, but they certainly take their hockey very seriously, just on that border of Canada. So both teams hit the ice here for warm-ups before the start of the third period. We want to show you again the keys to this game. We will revisit it now, and for Chaminade, stay out of the penalty box. So they've done a pretty good job of that. They've only had 2 penalties so far, although the second one Nichols capitalized on. They went out a strong forecheck and protect the front of Manduca's net. I think they've done a lot of that here this afternoon. Nichols, they want to play a north game. They want to possess the puck and play simple and hard hockey. So I think, honestly, both teams have done what they wanted to do to come in here. And the result is a very good game, very close game. It was Nichols with a 2-1 lead after the first period. Chaminade has twice come back and tied, but the game has been tied for less than 2 minutes each time, where Nichols quickly responding to that and regaining the lead. So final frame of regulation begins, and it'll be Chaminade looking to go from right to left on your screen, your phone or tablet or whatever monitor you are watching from this afternoon. Puck chipped down by Zawatoski. That'll be an icing against the Flyers, so Nichols will have the face-off to Manduca's right. I want to thank both coaches as well for their time leading up to this game. I know it's difficult on the week of a championship game to find that time, but it is well appreciated, certainly. Santa Maria backhands it up and return to sender, says Lucas Lee. Chaminade, they want to get it deep and forecheck, and that puck is cleared. Icing waved off. They say the puck deflected off a Flyer, and they were saying it went off of Conlon, so the Flyers will have to go the other way. Chaminade, no zone entry that time, and here comes Nichols the other way. Wrist shot, pad save by Manduca. Centering chance, another save by Manduca. The rebound, though, goes to Nichols. Here is Caffrey. He was the MVP of the Monsignor Martin Championship game. The Niagara Cup went to Nichols for a second consecutive year. And there is Caffrey. He has really turned this past month his game to a different level. Wrist shot, well wide of the mark, and actually so far wide it deflected out of bounds, or out of the, so used to basketball, right, out of bounds. So faceoff will be to Golofka's right. Golofka has bailed Nichols out of some games this year, said Gisevich. He has been huge for the Vikings this season. Wrist shot by Thompson, deflected into the far corner. Battle there, and here come the Vikings, 2-on-2. Pumping the brakes was Conti. Gets it back to his own blue line. And it's pushed back in as Nichols looks to play that 200-foot game. Chaminade comes the other way. Gerges held up. There is Thompson. A couple of Vikings collide. An opportunity maybe for Chaminade here. Can they get it across the way? That puck deflected, and here comes Bamrick, their captain. Excuse me, that was Conti, the alternate captain. That was dangerous because I don't think Glafka even saw where that puck went. Interesting here, too. You don't normally see it in a indoor venue, right? But as you can see, as Manduka makes that wrist save, or save off that wrist shot, sun glare. How often do we see that inside? So, will that play a factor? And it's right actually in Manduka's goal. A sunny afternoon here in Coney Island, as we can tell, along the goal line. Now the Flyers look to break out. Centering pass. Landolfi unable to get a piece. They were very close there to another tying goal. They tied the game at 1 and again at 2. And both times Nichols found a quick response to take the lead. Nathan Wynn taken away by Landolfi. He clears. Hard forecheck by Zawatoski. Puck intercepted. Here comes Hedquist. The slash. Hedquist tries to go backhand, but he will get stopped as the net goes off the moorings. And it is a power play for Chaminade. It'll be their 4th of the game. This will be a slashing penalty. Against Santa Maria. So big power play chance for Chaminade. Great job keeping the puck in at the point. That's a wrist shot that took a deflection and went out. Wrist shot by Conlin playing the point. That was Hedquist on the other point. It looked like who kept that puck alive. So face off to Glafka's right, back to the point, to the dangerous Hedquist. Works it behind. Conlin, wrist shot. Oh, it's a goal! A power play goal. Kieran Thompson in front. And we are tied at 3. What a deflection for Thompson. The first power play goal of the game for Chaminade on their 4th man advantage. And they have tied this game at 3. Another look. See, there's a simple wrister from the point, but you get bodies in front. That's where Thompson was, getting a piece of Conlin's wrister from the point. And we are tied at 3. Puck deflects into the Nichols bench, and some pushing a little bit between the squads. It's been a clean game, certainly to this point. The goal by Thompson, his 19th of the year, a second-team All-Star in the Catholic League. The assist goes to Conlin. What a day Conlin is having as well. A goal and an assist for the Flyers. Also, Hedquist picks up a secondary assist. So Hedquist, how about this for Hedquist? A goal and 2 assists. Heddy has had a say here on all 3 Chaminade goals this afternoon. The one thing the Flyers haven't been able to do today is take the lead. They've battled back. They've tied the game now 3 times. Can they get that next goal, which would put them in front here in the 3rd? Shots, again, heavily slanted to the hosts. 25-12 for Chaminade. Face off to Glofka's left. And it is won by Conti behind his own net. Board battle. And Conti comes away. Here's Duffett. Duffett inside the blue line. He scored the second Nichols goal. That gave the Vikings a 2-1 lead after the first. Flyers looking to buzz a little bit here. Puck sent in, and they will look to change. Only a one-man forecheck. That is Patron to do so. Santa Maria, really good forecheck by the Flyers. Puck won there by Thompson. He just tied the game on the power play a few moments ago. You can see what that goal has done for Chaminade. Not only exciting a partisan crowd here this afternoon, but also getting their team buzzing a little bit in the moments after the goal. But here's Nichols behind the net. Thompson fanned on an opportunity to get in. Now the Flyers find a way. That shot across the goal line by Ing. And we go the other way. Wrist shot at the blue line was initially fanned on, sent back in by Weber, who goes off for a change. A year ago, this one went to overtime, and it was Nichols as the Vikings iced the puck. They won 5-4 a year ago. That game up in Buffalo. And there you see it, London Goodwin, the hat trick, the overtime winner, Christian Swartz with 35 saves to lead Nichols to that 5-4 overtime win up in Buffalo. Here's Jake Caffrey splitting the fenders. Good last-second defending by Bonino just to stick that puck away. Important denial by Bonino. Here comes Caffrey. Gains the blue line. Nope, he did not. Just ahead of the blue line there was Griffin Johnson. So offside against Nichols. Nichols defeating St. Francis in a rematch of last year's finals. They won that game 4-1. Ooh, Manduka unable to clear. Shot in front. Manduka the save. Puck is loose. Still loose. And now the whistle has been blown. No goal. So the puck was pushed in after the whistle was blown. Watch it again. See the failed clearance by Chaminade. Puck worked behind the net. Manduka looking for it there. There's the initial shot. It gets behind Manduka, but he's able to hold on to the puck, and no goal there. So nervy moments with 8:08 left in this third period. The officials going to the Nichols bench just to have a quick conversation, explain what happened there. Oftentimes in hockey, the game goes so fast that an official, that split second it takes for them to put the whistle in their mouth to blow it, sometimes the puck gets behind. And you often see, especially in NHL games, the explanation being, look, we were going to blow the whistle, right? Like the puck was covered or we lost control of it. In front! Was that Thompson again? Man, he is dangerous in front of the cage. And offside again as Enright. But Thompson on the other side. He scored in the power play with the deflection in front. Nearly got a piece again. His head coach, Ed Smith, says he plays with an edge. He's quick. He was the MVP of the JV team a year ago. It was funny, and Ed Smith, start of the year this year, walked up to Thompson, said, I heard you were the MVP of the JV team a year ago. And he said, put it in your closet. And then he walked away, said Ed Smith. And Thompson has shown the ability to transition from JV to varsity, having a terrific season this year, and one of those guys back for next year, just a junior. And it's interesting with Nichols, as Chaminade struggling to get out of the zone. An aggressive forecheck by the Vikings. Nichols is a little bit the other way. They'll kind of continue to be young. Rister right into Glofka, and he makes the save. They've got an 18U team as well, where a lot of the school's juniors and seniors play, and that's more of that kind of a prep school where you play a lot of the teams up in Canada. And so their younger team, this is their 16U, the Federation team they call it, and they're the ones who compete. So certainly skill-wise, they've proven with a 16-1-1 season that their skill is on par, if certainly not better than most of their opponents. Puck cleared up the near boards, and now the Vikings. Bamrick ahead, and there is Caffrey. Caffrey recycles back. Backhand, good idea, but it just missed the mark. And we'll go the other way with 6:28 left in this third period, tied at 3. Flyers looking to gain the zone. Forecheck by Hedquist. He has a goal and 2 assists this afternoon. Here comes Caffrey the other way. Eludes the check along the boards. Conlin also eluded a check. Gets it ahead. Pushed in by Patron. Chaminade would have liked to change on that dump in. Unable to. You get the sense with kind of that hush in the crowd, some nervy moments. That wrister deflected in front as fans from both teams, as Gergis's attempted wrap around the boards went up into the netting, so it'll be a face-off to the left of Manduka. But kind of fans for both teams a little bit nervous right now as we approach the final 5.5 minutes of this third period. Thompson unable to get a piece, does win it now. Ooh, hard hit, and that's a penalty against Nichols. As Thompson, slow to get up. It'll go against Santa Maria. And good to see Thompson up as well. So Chaminade capitalized on their last power play. That was with Santa Maria in the box on a slash. This time he goes in for a cross check. With 5:21 left in the third. This is the 5th power play of the game for Chaminade. They are 1 for 4. But perhaps most importantly, they capitalized on their last power play opportunity with Thompson scoring, which tied this game at 3. Chaminade has never led this afternoon. An aggressive forecheck by Nichols. Big opportunity here for Chaminade. Instead, Conti takes it away. Zawatoski affects it in the neutral zone. That battle, though, is won by Nichols and sent behind Manduka's net. Here come the Flyers. Bonino lost it. And there is Dunn. Dunn, a really high hockey IQ. Flyers struggling on this man advantage, and they look to change things up. Inside the final minute of this power play. Oh, and a takeaway. Wraparound shot is saved. The opportunity by Johnson. Nearly a shorty. Johnson wants it again. That puck deflects off a Chaminade stick. And now the Flyers look to go the other way. Here comes Hedquist. Rister saved. Glofka, the rebound, goes into the near boards. Thompson tracks it down behind the net. 26 seconds left on the man advantage. There is Hedquist. Back to the point. Conlon, Rister. Ooh, deflected by Thompson. He scored on his last one of those. This one deflects wide, though. 10 seconds left on the man advantage. Hedquist tries to dangle. Wins it back behind his own net. Momentarily, though, Thompson tracks it down. We are even. So Nichols now takes the puck away. It's 2-on-2. Shot in front and a goal! TJ Bamrick gives Nichols the 4-3 lead with 3:05 left in the third period. Seemingly from nothing. And Bamrick, the captain of these Vikings, capitalizes. Watch there. Initially lost the puck, turned around though, and he had the advantage on his defender, and Nichols makes him pay. 4-3 as Bamrick, the captain, scores his 8th goal of the season. Right after Chaminade had the power play, Nichols not only gets the kill, but they get the go-ahead goal. In front, the shot, puck is loose. The opportunity there was by 19 Federico. Now you got to think Nichols will play that dump and chase game and want to clog up that neutral zone. Here's Landolfi behind the net. Lost control. There's Federico, and the puck is cleared. Manduka plays it there. Board battle on that far side in the neutral zone. Enright gets the assist. His second helper of the game. And we are inside now the final 2 minutes of regulation time. Nichols led 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, and now 4-3. And if you are Ed Smith on that Chaminade bench, you can't now, obviously, because the puck is behind your own net, but you start wondering, when do you pull Manduka for the extra skater? Manduka looks to the bench. He's being called there. So now Manduka's out. It's an empty net for Chaminade. They've got the extra skater. But just as soon as they get the extra skater on, they lose control of the puck. Puck inside. It's Weber playing it there. Sent in front. Santa Maria tried to track it down. He gets it now. That shot attempt deflected and cleared. Chaminade. Do they have a tying goal in them? Nice keep in by Hedquist. Ooh, the pass was taken away. And look at this. Here comes Weber. Weber skating and firing wide of the open net. An opportunity now for Chaminade. Can they capitalize inside the final 45 seconds? And the puck deflects into the stands, stopping the clock at 43.7 seconds. I believe a timeout was called as both teams go to their bench. There's a look at the Nichols bench. Almost fitting, right, that their captain is the one who scores the goal that gives them the 4-3 lead inside the final 43 seconds. They had a chance to put this one away, but they missed the empty net. Here it is, Weber. And you know what? Even though I think that's a great defensive play, you've got to give credit there to Conlon. The D-man turned forward, just sliding across, just maybe cutting the angle out a little bit, maybe putting something in Weber's head. Regardless, Weber unable to get the empty netter. Manduka's back in the goal. And as such, Chaminade's got to take a player off the ice with the faceoff just outside their blue line. They don't win, and it's sent back in by Casey Kohler. There is Bonino. 34 seconds. Now Manduka will come. Here comes Hedquist. Tries to dangle. The puck went off a skate. That one sent to the left of Glofka's cage. 22 seconds left. Empty net. Flyers have the extra skater on, but the time is ticking away. Behind the net is Thompson. That one sent up, kicked in, staying alive with 8 seconds. Cycled behind, maybe one last chance for the Flyers. In front, puck deflected off the stick. Final seconds, and it is over. Nichols, they go back to back, and they capture a second consecutive New York State CHSAA title and another one-goal win over Chaminade. Congratulations to the Vikings and their head coach, RJ Gisevich. And really to both teams, the Chaminade players are getting a big ovation from their fans and their family members. And listen, they battled all game long. Nichols, the favorites coming in today, but what a game as Nichols wins it 4-3. They go back-to-back, not only winning the Niagara Cup in consecutive years, but also capturing the New York State CHSAA championship. A year ago, they needed overtime to do so. This year, they won it late in regulation with their captain, TJ Bamrick, scoring the winner. And there you see the traditional handshake between both teams. Nice show of respect. Just 4 third-period shots for Chaminade and 8 for Nichols. So the totals go 27-18 for Chaminade. So again, Nichols lining up on their own blue line. Kevin Pickett, the president of the CHSAA, and the hockey chairman, Pat Scanlon, will hand out the awards. So the runner-up plaques will go to the Flyers, and you know this has got to really sting for Chaminade. And again, back-to-back years where they lose by a goal as Kevin Piggott brings out the runner-up plaque with Ryan Landolfi and Ed Smith. It's not the one that Chaminade wanted, for sure. They were close. Ed Smith, you heard him say it, he said they tasted it a year ago. Maybe the better team a year ago. This one was even, and Nichols just getting that final goal. And now Nichols will get the championship plaque. RJ Gisevich will get it along with Captain TJ Bamrick. And Bamrick is the one who made the difference here this afternoon, scoring the winner for Nichols late in the third period. Now Bamrick calls over the other guys with sweaters. The rest of the team follows in as well. It's Joe Conti, the alternate captain, as well as D-Men Drury Schmidt and Casey Kohler. And now there you see it. The whole team lifts it up. The hardware goes to Nichols. 4-3 winners this afternoon in this New York State CHSAA championship game. So congratulations to Nichols, as Bamrick also named the MVP of this game, rightfully so for Bamrick. Again, scoring the game-winning goal, his 5th game winner of the year. How about that stat for you? Of Bamrick's 8 goals this year, 5 were game winners. So the captain has a flair for the dramatic, an incredible moment, as now the team, I believe, they'll get state championship hats as well. And I joked with TJ Gisevich before, we talked about their travel plans and how they ate outside the city, and I said I'd imagine that Nathan's was not your choice of meal the night before the game, but I said, listen, you're just down the block. Maybe that's your championship meal. So he laughed, said, yeah, maybe that will be the case. So a bit of a subdued celebration for Nichols. You got to think if it was the other side and Chaminade winning their first, you got to feel for the Flyers, their 5th trip to this state championship game and their 5th loss, their 2nd consecutive 1-goal loss. But it's been an incredible year for the Flyers. It ends at 19-4-2. And Chaminade, you'll miss the leadership of a guy like Ryan Landolfi, and certainly the creativity and big game ability by a James Hedquist, among others. But you do have a lot of returning talent. You lose Dunn as well, but think about some of the guys back as well for the Flyers a year from now. You've got Gergis is a junior. Kieran Thompson, a junior as well. Will Auger, your best D-man, also just a junior. And your goalie as well, Manduka, returning a year from now. So Chaminade, it hurts right now for the Flyers, but you got to imagine that they will be in the mix in the Catholic League next year, and perhaps back on this stage again next year up in Buffalo, trying to win that elusive state championship. Nichols, as we mentioned, they are 17-1-1. An incredible year for Nichols. And again, congratulations goes to head coach R.J. Gisevich, a 2014 graduate of Nichols, on winning their 2nd consecutive New York State CHSAA hockey championship. So that'll do it here from Abe Stark Rink on Coney Island. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, A.J. Nieves, Angelo Caezo with the camera work. I am Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us here from Coney Island. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.